Good morning. Well, it's August 8th, 2024. We'll see what we've accomplished here. I've started working on the hill in that corner. I'm not going to have a tunnel. I decided just to have it cut out. I've got my flowers transfer facility in. I'm going down some track. I've got this wall spackled and sanded, ready for blue paint. My G-scale mountains used to be there, and I'm finally going to get that painted down below the track as well. I tried taking some pictures out in one of my fields, and may or may not use that as a backdrop along there. Not that you would notice necessarily, but I've actually cleaned out a lot of unneeded stuff that was under my bench work here. My cup of coffee. I have it set up now so that I can run my trains with my old Spectrum phone that I don't use. I can also run it with my current Moto G phone, so any smartphone that has the engine driver app on it can run the trains. I've made some decision changes for my industries. I'm now going to have my grain facility here because I can sort of have a country background behind it. A warehouse here. I've cut out a picture that I got off from the internet of a simple warehouse. I had this in here before, and my Centennial Mills kit I put here. I extended it. Well, the whole thing has 1-inch rigid insulation behind it, and then I've filled in between those two pieces that came with the actual kit to extend it so that I could have room for cars back there to doors, as well as the front cars to the loading platform out here. Well, one other thing, I have put in my switch controls from a Blue Point. It's just a wood knob that I got at Lowe's. I have I keep everything. These were markers when I had my geothermal system put in for where my solar voltaic underground cables were, plus other underground stuff. And I saved them. I save anything that's possibly usable. So that was 4 years ago. So now there are my connections from, get out of my shadow here, from my knob back to my throw bar, my Blue Point switch machine. I connected them. Once I got the rod up here, I've got evergreen 1/8 inch square tube that goes over that 1-inch or 1/16 inch rod, and then I can put a number 4 screw through the hole I drilled completely through that knob into that, and then I super glue the 1/8 inch rod tube over that rod, and so then now they are connected, and I've indicated if you push or pull which track you're dealing with. And I guess nothing new here. I've got this area here prepped to be painted. There's going to be an industry here. I'm working on that building in the house, another rigid foam structure. My concrete piers are set in. I've built a wood bridge. I know, wood bridge on concrete piers, it's not right. This is my railroad, as Steve Brown would say. And I've got my bridge track work from Walthers ready. I got to be getting into that. I've got the pieces to complete the ends and so forth. I've got to decide how long I want them. I've prepped the cracks with spackle. So this is going to have to be repainted, obviously. And I found this idea of how I can fill in above, at least fill in some of this. Gordon Spalte recommended something like this, and I thought should work. He also recommended down here at my end that I put an industry where my buildings are backed up to that raised elevation, and I could actually have doorways, which here it's just man doors, but I can have doorways for cars to back into the building and use that space back underneath this track back here. If I come over here, I have scratch built a warehouse that sits here for train doors on this side, loading dock on the other side. I've got to work on the stairs. The stairs are a little bit long yet, obviously. I made a change here. I've moved my coaling towers over here, my propane over here, because again on the internet I found some pipe work and stuff that I thought I kind of liked, and it was best to have the tanks over here. I've worked on my intermodal yard. I've got the pavement painted and the 2 concrete strips for the gantry to roll on, and I've obtained these 2 well cars at our last train picnic, and my old containers that I built, and I have a video on that in my group as to how I built those, and they can just sit there. They aren't going to get loaded onto cars. And I'm going to say that's about where I am so far for my layout, theoretically gaining on it. Hope your plan A goes for you today and you enjoy.